Welcome back to another episode. I'm liking these car videos more and more. It's just that sometimes there's like people around me and I just get so shy of filming when there's people who can obviously see what I'm doing, like this guy over here next to me. But this is the only time ideally that I can record these videos. I don't have much space at home, so we're here. But like I said in the previous video, it's going to be a very exciting video for the next one, just because we're in a new setting, and this is what I meant by like new things in my life, things that I've accomplished. So I'm very, very grateful that I'm here now. This is where I'm at, and just feeling very grateful for overall. But I wanted to talk about lifestyle inflation because, as you can see, or as you might have understood in the last video, that I had just graduated from college, and I didn't come from a wealthy background or even a middle class background, and it's definitely taken a long way to get to where I am now. And even then, like, this is not where I want to be. Like, obviously I'm grateful to be here, but the mindset is to keep growing and to keep dreaming for the life that I want to build for me and my family. So this video is basically like to talk about and be aware of the things that could happen once you reach that level of financial independence when you're working a full-time job, because I've only been working full-time for about 6 months now, and definitely it's been a lot of stable income coming in, but at the same time, like, the bills they don't just disappear on their own. Obviously they're there, never go away, but at the same time, like, you have this excess of money to spend, and some people might not have the self-control to be mindful of how they spend that extra money from a full-time job, because coming from a low income background, I feel like we've been so deprived of the things that we want as kids that as soon as we get our own money, it's kind of just, it's so easy to spend that money away, and get the things that we want, because like I said, we've been so deprived growing up that there's no other way. Like, we're not equipped to think differently. We're in that scarcity mindset, and it's not easy to go and reprogram the way that you think. And I know a lot of people have talked about this before in other videos, where in order to keep growing, you have to exit out of that scarcity mindset and enter like the abundant mindset, which is it's really true. But sometimes, like, we just get so tempted, and so like, it's just easily tempted to the things that we could potentially get with the money that we have. But if you really want to make a real difference, then you have to be smart about the way that you're storing your money, especially once you have a full-time job. And definitely, like, there's gonna be times where you have to treat yourself, whether it's a cup of coffee, a matcha on a Saturday or Sunday morning. You have to do those small things for yourself, appreciation tokens for yourself, so that you're able to keep motivating yourself to do the things that you need to do. Because once you, like, commit yourself to financial commitments like this, like buying a new vehicle or buying a new house or moving out and having your own space, that doesn't mean that it's yours to keep, yours to have. It just means that you're locked down, and you have to keep a certain amount of you have to work a certain amount of years in order to keep that and maintain that lifestyle that you started. So lifestyle inflation basically is when you are earning a certain amount of money more than more than what you've earned before. And at the same time, not only is your income increasing, but also the way that you spend your money, the things that you spend your money on, they also start becoming more expensive, more grand, like, a car, a house, or whatever it is. So all of those things, if your income like increases, but the way that you want to live your lifestyle doesn't really match that income level, you're gonna stay where you were at before you had a full-time job. Because the real difference is when you're able to save the excess money that you get from your full-time job, and able to, after you pay off all of your bills, then you save that money, put in a high yield savings account or a CD, whatever it is, and you let it grow. Then you're not just kind of bound to keep working until you pay off the things that you thought you could afford. I mean, technically you can afford it, but it just puts you in a really tough situation financially. Like, you're sometimes there's gonna be times when you don't want to go to work at all, no matter how financially stable your job provides for you. Like, there's gonna be times like we don't enjoy working. A lot of us, would hope or wish that we had a different lifestyle where we don't really have to work. That's like the ideal world, unless you're very ambitious, obviously. But a lot of us like don't want to be tied down by work, and what we're fighting for is the hours and the freedom to do anything that we want. But sometimes, like, when you're in a corporate setting, you just got out of college, you're looking for a job, you're kind of tied down to that career until you reach 60. That's the American dream, whatever it is. That's kind of the path that most people take. But if what you're after is to have more free time with your family, more freedom to do whatever you want, to travel whenever you want, and be able to work on certain amount of days for a certain amount of hours per week, that, I think, is the goal that everybody should strive for, is to have that freedom. It's not just about the financial freedom, but also the time. Because what we're exchanging, if you're working in a corporate setting, what you're exchanging for the money that you're getting is your time, and also the labor, the service that you're providing. But what matters most important, like what is most important, I think, when it comes to wealth, success, is having the freedom to have your time for yourself and for your family. It's not about the amount of money that you make in a year. That's my personal metric of success. But obviously, success can be defined in many different ways. But for me, I think that's one of my largest goals, is to be able to work a certain amount of hours for a day and like still be able to maintain the lifestyle that I want, and also for my family, not just for myself. And that's really the place that I want to be in. That's what I'm working towards. So for other people, it might not be, sorry about that. For other people, 6 months into a full-time job and then purchasing a car might not seem like a smart decision, but I've, calculated everything. Hopefully, my calculations were right, and that I'm able to save a lot more money than paying or than using an old car that I've been using for the past couple of years since college. And, this is a prime example of lifestyle inflation, is when technically this car is not mine. Like, it's owned by a bank, but because I'm paying for it, like, I kind of have to, like, lock myself into working for the next couple of years so I can pay this off, because obviously, like, you're obligated to pay this off since you sign a contract. So that's what lifestyle inflation is, and I hope that not a lot of people can safely navigate lifestyle inflation, because it can be very dangerous financially when you think that the money that you're earning from your job is enough to keep up with your lifestyle. Sometimes it's really not. That's why you have to look at the bigger picture, like how much. And sometimes it's better to pay in cash. Like, don't purchase things, don't put things on a card if you don't have the money for it. Obviously, it's different for everybody. the things that they have to you have to weigh things that in, like if it's something that actually matters to you and you think that you're going to gain better benefits by investing in a new vehicle, then go for it. Like obviously you have to weigh the pros and cons, but lifestyle inflation is not something that you can like joke around with, because it can dig a grave deeper than you think. I think that's why a lot of people in America have huge amount of debts and loans on their credit cards, is because yes, they might be working, but at the same time the amount of things that they spend every month on little things like coffee, new phones, and new clothes, new shoes, and appliances, all of those things, like it's just gonna keep you stagnant from where you were before you even got your full-time job, and it's just going to keep you in that constant loop of having to work to pay something off, and that's not where you want to be. If you want to be financially comfortable and independent, then you want to be able to, you know, work for the money that you need and then pay off things that you need right away. I don't think that, especially in this economy where everything is very accessible loan wise and credit card wise, like everything, you can get anything if you just put it in a card. But like I said, that's what keeps most people, the general population, in the working class, is because they have to keep working to afford the things that they want. But people who have a little bit more patience um, can get more out of the full-time job. It's not, a lot of people think that you have to invest in stocks, you have to do real estate in order to gain this mega wealth in life and to really make it in life. But I think that it's possible to garner or build that wealth while working a full-time job, as long as you're smart about the way that you use your money. And that comes with really knowing how to budget your money, how to save your money, and that's just like there's just a bare minimum. I think that what's most important is having the self-control and like learning to discipline yourself, that there is a bigger picture. There's reasons why you sacrifice going out on like Friday nights with your friends. It's because you want a more comfortable life for yourself in the future. Sometimes you have to make those sacrifices in order to live the life that you want later on without any restrictions. Like, wouldn't it be nice to go on a travel trip, vacation trip with your family and friends without having any budget? Like, that is the dream. And so hopefully people are more like, take the time to learn about finances, budgeting, and being more smart with their money, because even though, like, I get the whole notion of like YOLO. It doesn't matter if you're gonna own this much money from the bank, like as long as you're having fun. Like, I get that, but at the same time, you're not the only one who's gonna live this life. Like, there are people who are depending on you, people who in the future who might come along, like a partner or a child, whatever it is. Like, there's so many reasons to be motivated to set yourself up for success in the future. And you don't have to just do it for the other people. You can also do it for yourself. Your main motivation can be for yourself. Like wanting to retire early or wanting to go on these vacations by the age of 40 or 50. Like, there's so many reasons to not really sacrifice. I don't think sacrifice is the right word, but it's to discipline yourself, to build that financial discipline for yourself, that some of the things are unnecessary. Like, going out for a fancy dinner all the time with your friends, I think that's not normal. Like, you have to also keep in mind that a lot of the things that we want are influenced by the things that we see online, especially on social media. So it's very important that we're not easily influenced by the overconsumption that's currently presented in the online world, right? If you are serious about setting yourself up for success, having a comfortable life, and giving back to the people who raised you, who were there for you, then you have to start thinking rationally, logically, with a bigger picture, and you have to take things seriously. Like, unfortunately, like what I was talking about in the previous video, like at some point in your 20s, your actions are going to have consequences. Like, yes, early 20s, you can play around, experiment, and really establish yourself, your identity, and all of that. But like once you hit like a certain age in your 20s, I think that's when things become consequential, and there's really no space for error, because the things that you do now will affect the way that your children might live in the future, or how you're able to find a partner later on, because nobody wants to be in a position where they have to depend on somebody else. I'm sure nobody wants to be codependent on someone else's financials. No matter how much you meet somebody who is a provider, I think that everybody should have some sort of their own financial like flow of income. You can't just hope that you can meet somebody and they'll provide everything for you, because then you're exchanging your freedom for that. So, in order to give yourself that space and time and flexibility to live the life that you want, like, you have to be able to provide for yourself. And I hope that that's what everybody is striving for. Um, People who are watching, I feel like I'm getting better at this. But anyway, I don't want to get too ahead of myself. I feel like I'm getting more comfortable for sure. And like I said, I want to be more consistent here. So hopefully that these videos are starting to make sense for the people who are watching. I think I'm very just impulsive and just go with the flow. So sometimes I don't even know what I would talk about in a video. Like, it's just like comes to mind. And hopefully you guys enjoy talking to me yap about certain things. But yeah, I want to try other things too. Definitely, I've been gone from social media for about April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, like 8 months, 6 months, 7 months. Definitely I'm starting to like crave the space of being social again, being creative, posting pictures. I'm starting to crave that, but I don't think I'm gonna give in yet. I think I can hold out a little bit longer, and it's been a great year, not having any social media. I mean, like I said, I'm not posting anything on social media. I do consume some, like YouTube or TikTok, but at the same time, I feel like I have been on the quieter side. Not a lot of people know what I've been up to, which has been a privilege, honestly, because it just provides me with so much mental clarity on life and the things that I want. I'm more focused on my goals, so I think those are really great benefits if you want to kind of do a jump restart on your life. Like, it's good to just drop everything online and just focus on the things that matter, focus on the things that are actually present in your surroundings, and put yourself on track. It's not easy to start isolating yourself from other people, but at the same time, like, that's the exchange, right? Everything is like a give and take. If you want to be successful, then you have to give a couple more hours, like, with your friends, fun time with your friends. If you want to be successful, you might have to give up on sleep so that you can look for jobs, like apply for jobs and learn these new things online and kind of be street smart, because honestly, people in our background, they don't really get the resources handed to them. So we're not in the same starting line as the other people who might be more fortunate enough to have their parents or families or whatever it is in society that gives them the upper hand. So you can't just keep complaining about your situations. At some point, you have to do something about it yourself. And that, I think, that calls for more like credibility. I think that it's a very brave thing to step out of the matrix and do something different compared to what you've grown to know. So I'm wishing everybody the best and that they accomplish all the goals that you guys have set for yourself. I know that it's going to be a new year soon, so definitely it's an exciting time for everybody where they kind of want to wind down and reflect on the past year and start new goals for the next year. It's almost 2025. That's insane. And I hope that everybody finds the motivation within themselves to, find that success, find that freedom, financial independence. And I think that everybody would at some point, like, if you just keep a tunnel vision on these things, usually you will get what you want. Do the things that you see online. Listen to podcasts, listen to people who you want to look up to, people who have gone through the same experiences as you, people from the same background. I think that it does help when you see people of the same race or, community background achieve the things that you want, because it motivates you and makes you feel welcome. It makes you feel as if you can also be entitled to all of those things. It makes things more possible for you. So I know everybody already does this, but I'm just so happy and grateful to be where we're at now. And honestly, we're gonna start putting more content out there, and hopefully it turns out okay. And yeah, I'm excited for more to come. I'm trying to keep this video minimal to 20 minutes so it's easier to upload. But you guys have a great weekend. Obviously it's a weekend for me now, so hope everybody stays safe and it's always hard to find a closing statement, but keep going after what you want, because you will get there. Anyway, thanks guys for listening. You guys have a great one. Bye.